So welcome to the first ever live stream of my channel here. Just to give you guys a little overview, I'm a beginner programmer. I've been teaching myself programming for the past couple years now, mainly through Harvard CS50 and CS50 Game Dev. I got all the way through Flappy Bird before I just wanted to make my own stuff. So this is what I've been working on the past couple years here. Is Joust. So this is all kind of reverse engineered from scratch by me. So what we're going to be doing today, and I'm actually going to hop into our TMUX session before we get too far. There we go. Okay, so what we're working on today is we just finished. If you see these numbers in the top left, is a numbers of what we're calling our legal spawns table. And what that means is if we're standing above a spawn zone, you'll see that 3 disappeared. So that's what we just implemented. And depending on which point we're hovering over, this is 4. So we've got these different spawn points. So right now, once you die, you spawn at one of the 4 points. But the problem is if you're in 2-player mode, and let's say player 1 is standing right here, player 2 is gonna try to spawn right underneath us, and they're gonna come up here, and it's gonna mess up our collision hitboxes and stuff are gonna mess up. So what I'm trying to do is, now that I've implemented this function of this legal spawns, once we die and reinstantiate, we shouldn't spawn in a place that a person's already standing over. So if player 2 dies right now, it should only spawn in 1, 2, or 3, which is all the spawn points we're not standing over. So we're going to be working on implementing that today. So that's going to be the goal today, is to hopefully get player 2 to not spawn where player 1 is standing. So we've got this legal spawn function, and it does its thing with these spawn zone conflicts. So once the spawn zone conflict is set, then this is our table of legal spawns that we're actually modifying. So we're going to be removing the number of that spawn zone point if there's a conflict within that point. So right now we just have player 1, but we need to add player 2 for this conflict as well. But for right now, we're just going to be doing player 1, and then hopefully player 2 will inherit. We'll have to copy and paste all the code to make it work on player 2 as well. But let's see if we can get it working on player 1. So if we look at when we reinstantiate, so we have an ostrich class, right? And when we die, we reinstantiate, like right here. We reinstantiate at a given spawn zone point index. Okay, so you know what? We actually already did it. This used to be a math.random out of 4. So it would get either 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then it would be a truly random legal spawn. But what we're doing here is we're setting our spawn point index to be a random value. That's what this hash means, is a random value of our legal spawns table. So let's say player 1 standing on spawn zone 1. There's only 2, 3, and 4 left as legal spawns. So math.random will select a random value of that table. So only 2, 3, or 4, and hopefully omitting the 1. So we're gonna see if player 1 is standing, and this is actually only the player 1 reinstantiation. We need this line on the player 2 reinstantiation as well, which we are not doing. So right here, this is what the old code used to look like. So what we'll do is say, instead of, see, this is what it was, and platform 2 being retracted, we need to take that out of our legal spawns as well. we won't worry about that just yet, because the platform spawn point is on platform 2. We just don't want to worry about that just yet. So if we add that line, save it and run, and go to 2 players. Now with 1 player, I'm going to stand on spawn zone point 1, and with 2 player, I'm just going to die a couple times. So like, and spawn zone, it's actually spawn zone point 3. See, so it messed up. It messed up. We shouldn't be able to spawn at spawn zone point 3 there, even though we did. So we know something's wrong. We just don't know what. Oh, let's see if we can figure it out. Now, this hash table for legal spawns might not be functioning like I thought it was. Let's look up real quick what the percent or the hash does in Lua. Because I thought it was the value, and I'm not seeing it here. Is it called an operator? What is it called? Length operator. Okay, so this is different than I thought. Is it really length operator? Okay, so yeah, this is not what I thought. So it looks like I was thinking it would take a random value from our legal spawns table, but it looks like it's treating this as there's 3 values in our legal spawn, so give us a random between 1 and 3. So how do we go about saying we need a random value of the available tables in legal spawn? How do we go about saying that? I don't know. So we need a random value of a given table. So how do we do that? We're printing up right here. We're cycling through each of ours, and we just pick one of them, or we print all of them actually. So how would we only pick one of them? Maybe if we get rid of the random altogether. Actually, let's debug this out. So like let's say that here we're going to be love.printing random spawn. But we need to be printing up see, we need to give it an index. If we go for like legal spawns here, that'll just be printing up. Actually, let's see what that prints up, because it should print up all of them, right? It literally just prints up the address in memory, I guess. So we would need to give it a value. What if we'd have to, if we don't concatenate this, I think it'll crash. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure what to do. We need a random value from our legal spawns. And I thought the hash was the answer to all our problems. But it is not. Okay, so we don't want a random Yeah, how do we say not a random index? Let's just see what that does. Taking this out, math.random of a table. Does that mean it'll just grab a random value? We need two-player mode to test it. Player 1 will stand right there. Now, as player 2 will die until we respawn at the bottom point here. Unless we don't, in which case we have done it. So far, so good. Player 2's lives are on the fritz, but let's give it a shot again. That might be it, but I'm not so sure. Okay. So 3 should be removed from the spawn table at that point, and we're only instantiating with a random value from our legal spawns. You see how we had that? Okay, we don't seem to be spawning there, so I think we just omit the hash altogether. That's what we're looking for. Let's try another one. So like we'll go up here to this one. Oh god. So we'll go here, and then we'll die, and we'll see if we respawn where player 1 is standing. Yep. Okay. So it isn't fixed. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm curious what this would do. Math.random legal spawns. Legal spawns is a table with a bunch of values in it, so does math.random. I don't know what happens if you pass in a table into math.random. Maybe the documentation, though. This is why I say I'm a beginner, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Math.random in Love2D. So it just takes in a maximum possible value. So we want something different, because we don't want a maximum. We don't want a random in a value. We want a random value given a certain amount of a certain table. So maybe not math.random, but like random Love2D, random table selection or something. Yeah. How do we get a random element? Section. Section is a table that has two things, and we're saying draw the section at the index of a math.random of a value. See, and that's not what it is either. Because this is the length, so we don't want the length of it, we want the values of it. That's what I thought this did. Let me see Lua length operator. That really is length. See? Returns the string length and table length. See, that's not what I thought it was at all. I thought it was value. Because this is like, hey, there's 3 legal spawns, so give us a random value, 1, 2, or 3. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the value. So how do we get a random value? I'm really stumped on this. Like, what? the only way I knew how to do random is a math.random in this. And it doesn't work because we could be missing 1 and only have 2, 3, and 4, but math.random, if you give it 4. And there's no other parameter on math.random, it's just a max, just a max value. Love.math.random versus math.random. What the hell's the difference? Okay, let's just love 2D random table value. How do we get that? Let's try this where we say the table at the index of a math.random. That, I don't think that's it at all. Table at index. Let's try that. So spawn point index gets the table, which is legal spawns, at the index of a math.random of the length of our legal spawns. And then let's try that. It didn't. I feel like for whatever reason we're kind of prioritizing that top left spawn zone point. So I'm gonna sit right here. See? It shouldn't have spawned us there. See, that's exactly what we're trying to fix. This isn't it. So how do we snag a random value from the table? Okay, I think I know. I think I know. So like legal spawns will be a table of 3 values. So like in legal spawns, it'll be a table of 4 or 3 or potentially 2 values. So what we need to do is go to a random index of that table. So instead of legal spawns being right here, I think we might need to do we might need to say math.random math.random of our spawn point, of our legal spawns. See, no, that is the problem. That is the problem, because the spawn zone point index can't be a value that's outside of our legal spawns. So how do we ensure that spawn point index gets a value at our legal spawns? Yeah, you know what? It's something like we just tried with the table. So we want spawn zone point index to get a number, only a number that's in our legal spawns table. So I don't know. And I get messed up when I try to do a while loop in the update function, so I'm not going to try that. I don't know. I mean, we could do some hacky kind of things, like saying, like we get a spawn point index, then we check whether or not that spawn point index is equal to any of the values in our spawn zone, in our legal spawns. And if it is equal to any of those, then we can assign it to be a certain value. See, and that's tough because it depends on where player 2's standing. I'm stuck. Okay, well, I'm stuck. Let's comment this out and let's just kind of think. So, we have a table of values. See, that's jacked. Okay. That is so jacked. And it looks like the players are actually sharing the viewport. The viewport of the spawning. We need to fix that, but how do we get a random value from this table? I really don't get. So like, let's say we need a random value. So like, we can use the length operator to say 3. Okay, we want a random value between 3. That'll give us a random index. Then we say, okay, once we dereference the index or whatever you want to call it, then that will be a value at which is only in our table. So maybe we can do something like that where we say, okay, so our spawn point index is going to get, and it's a legal spawns table, but we need to get a random number of the value. So I think we need another thing. I think we need a random. If we get a random index here and we call it math.random, and it's a random of our length operator of our legal spawns. So let's say we have 1, 2, and 3 in there, not 4. That'll give us a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then we do this where we say legal, we get the value at the random index there. So this is supposed to only happen one time, right? So this code should only happen if we explode, we decrement our lives, and we still have lives left. Then we're going to reinstantiate. We're going to do this, and once we reinstantiate, we're no longer exploded. Actually, exploded should be true here. Wouldn't it be? If player 1 is exploded, yeah, you know what? Let's just take this out. I think we don't need this because I think this is redundant with our reinstantiation. We should become unexploded. And if we don't have any lives left, then we're gonna swap our lives to 0 and we're gonna say, hey, we're in the graveyard. Okay, so we're doing 2 steps here. We're saying, giving us a local variable called random index. we're getting a random number of the number of values of our legal spawns at the moment of death. And then our spawn point index gets to be the index of that random value. So maybe that's it. Okay. Dude. It's tough to test because it's a random value, so like I do feel like it favors this top right viewport for some reason. See? It did spawn there. It spawned at the tube. Oh god. Okay. So what if we get rid of doing this at a specific instance and we instead do it in our update? So like, let's say we do it right here. Very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set a random index of the length of our legal spawns, and then we're going to set a spawn point index to be equal to the value at that index. Now, this is gonna get nasty. I don't want to do this. Okay, so how about, Jesus, I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do because it's hard to debug it because it's going to be, that value is going to be changing every 60 times a second. And that's what I thought would be the fix. Because we have illegal spawns. If we take a look at our legal spawns, we're printing up every value of our legal spawns. So you would think that if we instantiate as a spawn point index only a value with our legal spawn, we wouldn't appear anytime we're standing over the spawn point. Now, maybe I just go like, what about our spawn point? Spawn zone point has got an X. Kind of wanting to just render the numbers by our spawn points so that we can kind of just visualize them a bit better. See, like, what if we add a number here as a parameter? And we say, hey, this is 2, this is 1, this is 3, this is 4. Then if we go into our spawn zone point class, which spawn zone point class right here, we can say like identity. Then we're going to set a self.identity to be equal to that parameter we just passed in. And then we're going to render love.graphics. Got to do two things. We're going to love.graphics.set color. We want to set our color to white so we can see what we're saying. Okay, 255. Okay. And then we're gonna print out this value, lab.graphics, graphics.print. And the thing we're gonna print is we're gonna print up the number. So like what we're gonna say is we're gonna say toString, and we're gonna print up our own identity. And we're gonna print it up at our self.x, self.y, but maybe -5 and -5, so we can kind of see. And then we need to do one more thing, which is actually render each spawn zone point. So in our play state here, we need to render each spawn zone point. Each of these is an instantiation, so we need to render each one of them, and we can just do it last. We can say spawn zone point render, right? So we can say render each one. And then we'll be able to see if there's any surprises here, because if there's any surprises here, this one's on point 14 we're messing up at. Okay, yeah, we missed a closing paren here. Nil, nil, nil. So that might be why we're messing up. Well, okay. I think I know, because we redo this spawn zone point and instantiation, I think, a couple times. On zone. Yeah, point. So we're doing it right there. Okay. We don't have a value for the taro. That's okay. There it is. No, that's a comment. Okay, right here. So we need to add. Well, and the instantiation wouldn't really matter, right? Because it's a spawn zone point. We're not instantiating a spawn zone point, which is when we would need to do it. Huh. Self.identity. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding what our spawn zone points are. That's not very helpful. Okay. Well, each instantiation has a value. So like if instead of the identity we wanted to print up the X, could we do that? X's are working fine, right? We need to move up and left a bit, but X's are printing fine. So it's got those instantiations. we just aren't assigning the identity properly. Identity. Okay. Then we're instantiating it. Oh, a third value is the identity, is that right? No, a DX. Okay, so let's skip the DX. Why does a spawn zone point have a DX? What are we doing there? I don't think we need that. Why would a spawn zone point need a DX? Let's just take that out. Okay. Okay, 83. I guess we use it for the pterodactyls, so I guess we can't take it out. But what does it default to? I guess we'll put 0 on there, but we'll put 0 for the DX and then the identity. Okay, now if we go back to our spawn zone class, we go back to printing up our identity, and then we see if we're getting our values. Identity. Okay, we are. So those are the values. And then, yeah, okay, well, so it does seem to be working. I just feel like a disproportionate amount of time we're spawning at the 1. For whatever reason. Spawn zone. Okay, where do we reinstantiate ostriches, right? So, right here. Player 1's exploded, and we're past that. Let me just test something, right? Like, let's just say, since we're not setting a spawn point index right here, we'll say spawn point index gets 4. No matter what, when player 1 dies. Oh, and you know what? We were testing it with player 2. We were testing it with player 2. We might have been right this whole time. Let me see. So if we die, we should only die. Oh, the bonus egg sound works. Yeah, we should only spawn at 4 now. I just realized we were standing as player 1 and respawning as player 2. Which we should have been doing it the other way around. So what if we did that idea we had already? Right, so we're trying to set a random index. Trying to get the value of a random index within our legal spawns table. So we can go math.random the length operator of our legal spawns, not what I wanted. And then we set our spawn point index to be equal to the value at our legal spawns at the index of our random index. So now player 1, when it's respawning, should go to only a value that's in the legal spawns. So if we save that out, we write it. Now if we got to do 2-player mode. We go to 2-player mode. We have 2 players stand on something like spawn zone point 1 here, and we die as player 1. We should never spawn. Okay, it's legal spawn, not legal spawns is the difference. Legal spawn is the function. My bad. Let's try that again. We need 2-player mode. Okay. So now if player 2 is sitting on spawn zone point 1 and player 1 dies, we shouldn't ever spawn at that point end, of course. Okay. This is hard to test because there's a bunch of different possibilities, and it's always going wrong. So I guess... Dude, come on, come on. Okay, I think I just need to give us a bunch of lives. Okay, so far so good. I'm not spawning. Let's give us a couple lives so we can test this. Yeah, instead of 5 lives, how about we give ourselves a whole 50, and then player 2 lives. Go ahead, we get 52. I wasn't expecting that. Never seen an error like that. Okay, let's just go 10. Dude. I've never seen that. What is going on? Play state 17? Oh. That was weird. What was that? Okay, well, let's give us 50. Give us 50. Let's try it. 2-player mode. Okay, player 2 will sit anywhere. Like on... oh, and you know what? Okay. So this is jacked up because we don't have the legal spawns table updating for our player 2's location, only the player 1. And player 1 can't respawn where a player 1 is already standing, so we can't even test this just yet. So we really do gotta add it for player 2 before we do anything. Now, I'm gonna be super lazy about this. And we're just gonna copy all of the player 1 stuff, and then we're gonna do a fancy little Vim thing here, which is we can do a %s/player1, and we replace it with player 2 globally. Did it work? No, it didn't. Really characters. Okay, well, it was a fail. Wait for. We just need this to say player 2. All of these player 1s need to say player 2s. So, there's the :s, player 1, substitute with player 2, and do every instance in the line. Booyah. Okay, so now we've got literally just a duplicate spawn zone conflict boolean set with our player 2, which will actually just remove whatever value that they're standing on from our legal spawns. So that's the number that we're printing in the top left there. So now if either player 1 or player 2 is standing on, let's test it for player 2 here. So player 2 is standing on 3. Okay, yeah, and then 3 removes. So now we can actually test this out. We've got 50 lives. So I'm gonna go with player 2 to set up on this stage 1 here. And then, so 1's out of our table, right? So I'm hoping, don't kill him, you son of a... Okay, so, dude, I'm just hoping that player 1 can't respawn where player 2 is standing. And it's hard to test because it's a random value. Maybe we could manually remove 3 and 4 so there's only 2 options for them to spawn so we can test it a bit easier. But so far so good. We haven't spawned where player 2 is at yet. So player 2 is standing on spawn zone point 4. So I'm hoping that whenever I die, my player 1 can't spawn at 4 because that just causes issues. So far, it seems to be working. I haven't spawned at 4 yet, and it's been quite a few lives. And then we can test the same. It seems to be working. I mean, we should have hit spawn zone point 4 by now. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave player 1 at spawn zone point 2 here, and I'm gonna die with player 2 a bunch and see if player 2 ever dies. Oh, see? Well, if you look at this, our 2 is part of our legal spawns. What is going on there? 1, 2, 3 in our legal spawns table, yet we're not even hovering over it. Oh, I think I know what. Well, okay. I really... See, we should have 4 in our legal spawn table right now, and we don't. So why is that? It stopped updating for some reason. Oh, I know why. Because we only did it in our wave 1. Let's go to our wave 1. We're not running our legal spawn function in anything but wave 1. So the way it works is okay, that's disgusting. We go to wave 1. We'll see. Not what I wanted to do. What's going on? Okay. What did I take out? What did I take out that messed all this up? So we got player 1. That's it. Okay. We really messed this up. Okay. So real quick, we're going to do this again. Give us our player 2 spawn zone conflict set. So we're going to put that right here. And we're going to replace it with player 2. So substitute player 1 with player 2. And then we're going to go to our wave. And we're going to... This is how it works, is our legal spawn function removes any of those conflicts that we just copy and pasted. Those spawn point conflicts wherever we're standing above, it'll remove that value from our legal spawns table. So what we're doing in every wave is saying, and see, you know what? We have to actually add it back. We have to add... Oh, that's tough. We have to add our legal spawns back. Because right now we're never adding them back, is that right? No, we're adding them back. Okay, we're adding them back every single frame. So if it's wave 1, we set our legal spawns table to be all of them by default. Then we run all of our conflicts, remove anything that's a conflict. So we should be able to go add this into wave 2. And then hopefully it would work on everything. So let's see. Player 1 on 4 should remove 4 from our table, and it is not. It's removed with player 2 for whatever reason. And player 2 is removing 2. Why is player 1 broken all of a sudden? Where did we go wrong in our legal spawn? Where player 1 isn't working anymore. Okay, okay. Oh, I think I know. I think it's because we're using the same booleans for both players. So if one player conflicts, but the other doesn't, the second player will overwrite the first one. So we need to do it twice, basically, which really sucks. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. I don't know of a better way. It's messy that we have this all in a big old copy. So if we say that, yeah, it's like we got to check both players to remove it, because what's happening is that we're flipping the boolean of the conflict depending on if the second player isn't or not, which they're almost never standing in the same place, so it's almost always going to flip that. So the second player will almost always overwrite the first player. That's why it works for player 2 but not for player 1. So we just need to do the removal, all of this stuff. We need to do this twice, once for player 1, once for player 2. So I say we say this is player 1 removal, spawn zone removal. I'm going to call it player 1 conflict spawn zone removal. And then what we need is all of our player 2 logic that we just copy and pasted here. And that's another reason why copy and paste isn't so great, is that it's overriding those other values. Player 2, spawn conflicts. Okay, so we'll just add a 2 for our player 2. It's not very verbose or clear, but I don't know if this will fix it. So I'm just gonna try to see if this fixes it, and then if it works, then we can go get a prettier implementation of it. So spawn zone conflict 2, and then we need to do all the removals for player 2 based on this boolean, not based on the player 1, and then that should remove all the unnecessary stuff. So another copy and paste, God forgive me. We're going here, yanking it, we're gonna go paste, and this is player 2. Now we're still going to remove from the same spawn table, but we're going to be removing based on this new boolean there for player 2. So we're just doing the same thing twice, once for player 1, once for player 2. And we have to have these separate booleans so they don't accidentally overwrite one another. So now maybe we can try it. So let's see, this should remove, okay, yep, okay. So yeah, look, we've got removed spawn zone 2 and 1 because they're both standing on it. And then if we both get off it, all 4 should come back, and it does. So now I'm hoping it should work. So let's park our butts on player 1, or on spawn zone point 1, and oh, come on, dude. Okay, we still need to fix the spawning animation, whatever you call it. I call it like the viewport, spawning viewport. But we're just trying to see if any player will respawn at the same point another one's standing on. Okay, okay. Don't kill him, don't kill him. Okay, let's go to wave 2. Let's test wave 2. So, I'm hoping when I die, I never spawn where player 1 is. And it hasn't done it yet, so we might be okay. And I feel like it was favoring spawn zone point 1, so... we might be okay. How is it that when I want to die, I can never die? Okay. Oh, and now you're spawning at 1 all the time. Okay, Shadow Lord, kill me. Okay, and that's the other thing. Maybe we... oh my god. Okay, well, I think we might have done it. No! No! That was it. We both spawned at spawn zone point 1. Oh, fuck. That was it. That's not what we want. I don't know how to debug it. I don't know how to debug it at this point. I thought that would be the fix. But we do, in fact, spawn it 1 every once in a while. I mean, I saw it happen, it just doesn't happen that often. So one thing I think I want to do is whenever we start the sound for our respawn, we stop the sound for our respawn right before we do it. And then we gotta set our own spawn port per player. Okay. It doesn't happen that often, but I know it happens. I've seen it. You know, I haven't seen it with player 1, actually. I've only seen it with player 2 spawning in the same spot. Is that right? So maybe we forgot for player 2 to change the boolean somewhere or something. Because I haven't seen player 1 mess up like that. Okay. Well. Oh, the platform's burning away. Yeah, I haven't seen player 1 mess up, so it might have something to do with player 2 where we gotta fix that. Oh, no, I just saw it there. Okay, well, let me reset that double sound playing. Where do we play that? It is called sounds respawn, right? So we can go sounds respawn. Okay, so anytime we play sound respawn, we want to stop the sound first. So that should fix that, at least for player 1, but we need to go player 2 as well. Okay. And then it's our spawn zone, what do we call it? We call it like spawn height. That's what we call it. Our spawn height is being shared between our instantiations when it shouldn't be. So let's see anytime we do this spawn height. Now it is a self value, so it should be only set for the one instantiation each. that isn't the case. So how this works is like we're setting the viewport of our spawning sprite. So right here, you know, if it's there's two spawn frames that kind of flicker, and we're saying if it's frame 1, we set the first viewport, this first frame, and we draw it with a height of a spawn height, which a spawn height starts at 0.5 or whatever, and it grows, so it shows more and more of the vulture as it rises up. But that's a separate point. We have to rise it up right here with our Y. So if we're spawning, we're raising our Y at the same rate, minus 0.5, at the same rate of our spawn height getting plus 0.5, which gives the illusion of it coming out of the ground, because it grows at the same time as it comes up. So it effectively kind of comes out of the ground like that. But what I don't get is why they're kind of sharing the what's up, Austin? Are you still here? They're kind of sharing the same value for some reason. I don't know why that's happening. So we are doing a let's look at any time we do a spawn height. So we're doing it on the spawning frame, and then if we're spawning, we set it. Okay. And then that's it. So there might be another thing. There might be another thing in our play state. Let's just see if we do any reference to a spawn height here. And we don't. So I don't get how they would be messing up by sharing that value with one another, because it's a value associated with the object, and we're instantiating a new object for each player. So the only thing I could think of, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know. I don't get how it would be messing up that way. Like, we can try to recreate it and see. I'm pretty sure anytime we both die at the same time, or in the time that another one is spawning, that it messes up. Oh my god, it's so hard to control both these guys at the same time. Die! Die! Dude, okay, I cannot control both these guys at the same time. Let's just get to a high wave. Let's set ourselves to like wave 20 or something, so that we can just get a bunch of vultures out, and then we'll be dying at the same time, right? Just because of the sheer amount of vultures that are upon us. So we'll go to wave 20. Go 2-player mode. We're on, oh, of course, wave 20 is an egg wave. We should have gone to 21. Okay. There we go. Yeah, our spawn height is shared between the two of us. See? Oh, and then they spawn in the same place. See? Why is our spawn height shared? That's what I really don't get. Why would we be sharing the same spawn height? We're both an instantiation of an ostrich, but we're a player 2 and a player. You know what? Maybe maybe, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why, because anytime we instantiate, we should reset our spawn height. But we gotta be messing something up in our ostrich class. We got to be setting our spawn height wrong somewhere. If our spawn height now, and we are self.spawn height. Okay, we get 0.5. Then the next time we do anything is right here on the spawn frames, and then we do it right here. If we're spawning, we go ahead and do this. Spawning is false. Why don't we set... Okay. It doesn't make sense to me that they would share this value. They're both two different instantiations of it. So how is it that both players are sharing this value? That's what I don't get. We don't. So I've got like two ways of thinking about fixing this, and it's like, one, fix it here, or like, you know, tackle it here, make sure we're not doing anything wrong here. So what we're doing is, if we're spawning, our Y becomes raising up out of the ground, right? And our spawn height will grow if we're spawning. If our spawn height is greater than 24, we're setting our spawn height to 24. And then we should become spawning false at that point, I think. Not necessarily, but because we're checking if our Y is smaller than... If our Y is to the point where we would be standing on the platform, then we're setting our Y to be equal to standing on the platform, and we're becoming grounded and no longer spawning. So why don't we set our spawn height here? And the thing is, if we're spawning, we only do that if we're spawning. So if we reset it to 24, and we're no longer spawning, then we won't be changing that height anymore after that. So we're also doing, we do it right here. We say if our spawn height is greater than 24, which would never be the case at this point because we're setting it there. We're going to set our Y here. We're going to set our dy to 0, grounded to true. So why don't we just set our dy to 0 here and go ahead and get rid of this. Now, if our Y is greater than the platform spawn Y minus self height, it's the same line of code above. Same line of code. Why are we doing that again? Grounded is true. Setting our Y to be equal to... This is the same. So maybe this is where it's messing up, because we had like 3 different redundant things in here. Okay. Then if we're not spawning, we go and update all of our our positions and collisions and stuff. So maybe that might do it. Let's go to level 21, right? So we'll go to wave 21 so we don't hit that egg round. And 2 players, and let's get crunk. Okay, so I don't want to move once I'm dead. Spawn height is wrong still. Spawn height is wrong. Did you see the legs? Did you see the legs go crazy? Well, shit, man. I don't know what to do. That definitely wasn't the fix. I'll tell you that much. I mean, yeah, we had the legs. I think what we had in there was to fix the legs for some reason. So if we undo that and we go to Two-player mode. You try it again. Why do they share the spawn height? Why would they share the spawn height? Okay. Next idea I have is on the instantiation we reset that spawn height, that instantiation spawn height back to 0. Because for whatever reason they seem to be sharing it. So whenever we reinstantiate this ostrich, whenever we reinstantiate it right here, we're going to set player 1 dot spawn height to be equal to the 0.5. Now maybe the point, I don't know if we need the 0 on the 0.5 to get it to function properly or anything like that. Where's the spawn height? Spawn height is 0.5, so maybe we just add a 0.5 and maybe that'll help us. I'll try anything at this point because I don't know what's wrong. We are doing a 0.5 there, so maybe it's like a floating rounding issue. We set it there. Now let's set our spawn height for player 2 when we do our player 2 instantiation, which would be an ostrich instantiation like that. And we would say that a player 2 spawn height gets reset to not 0.5 but 0.5. And then we'll go back and set this one to 0.5 as well. Okay. So let's give it a shot. Let's see. No, man, our spawn... God damn it, dude. It's like worse than it was. The spawn height is shared. Why is the spawn height shared? It's its own instantiation. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't know what's different. I don't know why it's doing it. That doesn't seem to fix it. Why would it share? Why would it share the instantiation? I don't get it. The only, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to change. I don't want to have to copy and paste an ostrich class and call it player 2 class. Something like that. Just to fix this weird problem of them sharing this, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Let's get rid of this. Okay. I don't know. What else can we try? What else can we try? Let's take a look at our parameters for our ostrich class and see if there's anything. We don't take a spawn height. We don't take a spawn height. Do we instantiate at spawning gets true? We do. We do. So how do we do the very first? Do we have to set spawning gets false on the very first vulture? Because we don't spawn from anywhere? Let's see our wave 1. And we... No, maybe that's not it. Maybe, where do we instantiate our ostrich for the first time? We do it right there. Which is where? In the init? Yeah, in the init. But we don't set it spawning to be false? No, we don't. We set it to be standing in the init. We override its y to be y. To be on the standing. Okay. Bro, I don't get why. We have two different instantiations, so why would it share it? Is there something I'm missing that would make it share a value with another? Okay, you know what? What we can do is just debug it. Like print debug it. And see if what I'm thinking is in fact the case. So let's go ahead and say love.graphics dot print, and if we print player 1 spawn height, one sh, and then and we concatenate that with a toString of our player 1 dot spawn height. Okay, and we do this at 20 10 20 10x 20 on the y. Okay, and then we'll print up the player 2 spawn height, which will be right here on player 2. So now if these two are forever locked, that's exactly what I fear is the problem. And we got to print them up at a different spot. So what I'm going to do is actually not print these up, but I'll do this and I'll go here and call this 30. Okay, so same spawn height. Now if these two are locked by the time anyone dies, it's not. But they're locked by the time both of them die. So like, if one dies... No, it isn't. I don't know what's going on. It isn't the spawn height that's the problem. The spawn height is working. Yeah, see, they each have their own spawn height, like I've been thinking they did. I don't know what the problem is then. I don't know what the problem is. They've got their own working spawn height, and it's not messed up. That's why I've been so confused. Is like I can't see how they could be sharing the same spawn point, but they're not. They're not even sharing. They're not sharing the same table either. Like the same. What do you call it? Atlas. The artwork atlas. They're not sharing that either. Let's see. But look, I have a Joust Player Atlas 2 and a Joust Player 2 Atlas. Those are the atlases. I mean, they're not named particularly well, but they are different. Oh, no, yeah, we are. I mean, yeah, we obviously are doing the different atlases because we're getting different pictures. And we set the atlas here based on the player number that gets passed in as an argument, so that makes sense. And then, yeah, we have a temporary safety atlas too. Actually, that might be where it's messing up. We have a temporary, no, that's for each player. We have a temporary safety atlas. Okay, so when we do our spawn height, we're doing our temporary safety atlas, right? When we do our spawn height, oh, and you know what? Yeah, our spawning sprite. So is our spawning sprite getting this temporary atlas? Spawning sprite. I think this is where it's going down wrong. So we've got a spawning sprite. That's our drawable, whatever you want to call it. Now, the quad it's getting is the temporary safety atlas. No, it's right. It's getting the temporary safety atlas. Ostrich 2 sprite, Ostrich 1 sprite. That. Where are we doing Ostrich 1 and Ostrich 2 sprite? It's in our player number. We're setting the viewport. Okay, I don't think I like this. So why do we have a spawning sprite and then we have an ostrich sprite? Now what's weird is our spawning sprite. Oh no, it is a different atlas. Okay. But okay. So our self atlas is what we're not when we're temporary spawn. Our self.atlas, yeah, it gets us when we're not temporary spawning. I still think this is where the problem is coming because we're setting a temporary atlas 1 and 2 based on our player number. Self-player.number, self.player number gets assigned here. And then we assign atlas. Okay. Do we set a quad there at the atlas? No, we just assign it. We don't set the quad till here. Okay. Stuck. I'm stuck. Yeah, this is... I apologize for the lack of confidence in this first stream here. I'm just having troubles left and right. So I guess, see, I feel like this is the problem. I feel like our spawning sprite, See, like we're using two different sprite locations for the normal spawns, right? So when we're not flashing, we're using two different variables. But then if we're spawning for whatever reason, we're using the same variable here. So what if under our spawning sprite here, we just give it to ourselves? Each player gets a separate spawning sprite. Now, if it's... See, it kind of makes sense to have it like that, though. Oh, God. So we're modifying the same atlas. So why don't we do something similar? I don't think it'll fix it, man, because we're using the same atlas on these two, but then we're using a different atlas on these two. So why? Let us do this and just see. So like maybe we do a git commit right before we do this, or maybe we just wing it. Yeah, let's just wing it. Let's try it, because it's gonna be... See, and these aren't self variables. That might be it. This isn't a self variable. This is just the variable that we're reusing. So the spawning sprite would have the same spawn height. Is that right? Yeah. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say that this is it. So what we're doing is we want to set a self-spawning atlas to be equal to something, right? And same here, we want the spawning atlas. Now these can be the same name as one another, because we're only gonna assign it one atlas here. So we have a temporary... Let's take a look at our main when we do this temporary safety. So it's temporary safety atlas and temporary safety atlas 2. Let's just copy these just so we have them. So we're saying, hey, when we instantiate up here, depending on our player number, we're going to be getting these temporary safety atlases. So if we're player 1, then we get our temporary safety atlas. And then if we're player 2, we're going to get our temporary safety atlas 2. Now, when we're changing our spawning sprite, which is a global variable, because by default all Lua variables are global, we're not going to be changing the spawn height of our global atlas, because we're no longer going to be sharing that global atlas, because now we have a temporary safety atlas 2 as our spawning atlas that is in reference to ourself, not in reference to a global spawning sprite like right here. So we do have to give ourselves, and I think this is okay. I think, you know what? We say the global, we can say it's global if we give it, oh shit, I don't know. If it's a different name, because these can be global because they're getting two different names. These two are sharing the same spawning sprite name, so we can't have that. So Ostrich 1 sprite, is it the first time we mention it? I think it is. So we're setting our temporary safety atlas up here. So I think what needs to happen here is we need to set our quads for our temporary safety atlas. So we're saying, hey, I'm going to say player 1 spawning sprite goes ahead and gets that. And if it's player number 2, then we're going to say, hey, player 2 spawning sprite gets that. That's just setting the quad with the appropriate dimensions, which is the same. But now that we have 2 different values here, anytime we go to spawning sprite, see, and we can keep all that the same. It's just that right here, we want to set the appropriate spawning sprite. So, I think what we can do here is say if player number self.player if self.player number is equal to 1, and then we know we're player 1, we can go ahead and do this. With a player 1 spawning sprite. Of setting the viewport at our own spawn height. And then we can say else if self.player number is equal to 2, then we're going to go ahead and set the player 2 spawning sprite to be equal to that. Otherwise, we're going to set it to spawn frame 2. So then the same thing where we say if our self.player number is equal to 1, then go ahead and set the viewport on our player 1 spawning sprite. And then else if self.player number is equal to 2. And the reason I didn't find this bug for so long is I don't play 2-player that often, and I don't really die at the same time that often when I am playing player 2, because it's hard to control 2 players. So we want to do the same thing, but with the other sprite. So player 2 spawning sprite will set its viewport there. And then we just need to check and make sure that our spawning sprite doesn't get called anywhere else, and I don't think it does. It does. So this, okay, so I think this is where it had been messing up, because we're drawing the same quad for both players. Now, we are drawing the different atlas for both players, but we're drawing the same quad, which would inherit the same self.height, maybe? That's what I'm hoping the problem is. But we'll go here, player 1 spawning sprite. And then player 2 spawning sprite. Player 2 spawning sprite. Okay, so player 1 spawning sprite. Player 2 spawning sprite. Okay. Now, any other spawning sprites? Or any other spawning sprites. Let's see. So far, so good. Let's just die at the same time. Still jacked. Still jacked. There are two out here killing people without even being controlled. That time it didn't mess up. That time it didn't mess up. Okay, that time it did. But you know what? I think it's... God damn it. I think it didn't... Okay. The two times it did mess up, I think it messed up on... When they were spawning in the same point. Because the spawn height wasn't being shared, but the... Yeah. Okay. So that did fix it. That did fix our spawning sharing issue. But we still don't have the stop player from spawning in the same spot, which is the whole point of the episode today. So now that the spawning is fixed, I think we can see what we're doing. You know what? We didn't. Let me just see. We didn't have that saved in our play state. Okay, if they spawn at the same time, they don't have that spawning issue. I'm just seeing if... Yeah, see? We're still allowed to spawn at the same spot, which should be illegal. The spawning viewports are fixed, but not anything else. Okay, so how would we debug this? Like, let's say we go to... what are legal spawns? Let's turn this on so we can see our legal spawns again. As well as just take a look at what we're doing. So we should have the right values in there. And then one. Okay, so our player reinstantiation is outside of our wave logic, which makes sense, right? Because it transcends wave logic. So let's take a look at our ostrich, and we're doing it here. And you know what? Hold on, let me see for player 2. We're not doing it for player 2. Okay, so if we take this and do the same thing for player 2. Instead of a random number, do this. Do we need another random index? Well, random index is getting assigned to be a random index of our legalSpawn table, which is going to be the same for both players because neither player can respawn where a player is standing. So we shouldn't need to do that, and especially because it only gets set on a death. So let's see. Okay, so far so good. Okay. We're not doing the stop. Okay, dude, so far so good. Dude, we might have done it. But the thing is, we're not... Oh, see, look, we're not... Okay. Problem again. Because the thing is, we're not running our legalSpawn. We're not running our legalSpawn in wave 21, which we're currently in. So if we go to wave 2, the way to do this is just say wave gets 1, or wave equals 1, then this, and spawn to wave 21. Wave is 21. Wave is 21. Then we're going to go ahead and do this. Platform 5 is retracted, but not platform 2. So look, we'll just run that legalSpawn now. Go here. Wave 21. Okay, yes. Now those are getting updated. Just want to see if any player ever spawns where another player is standing. And if it doesn't, we're good to go. I mean, we got the legalSpawns table up there. So as long as we're setting the random index appropriately, which I feel like we are, then it should be working. We shouldn't see a player spawn at the same spawn point as another player. So far, so good. Really? Dude, is this it? Is this it? It's working. It's working. I don't agree with that kill. I have to say that. Yeah, it seems like they all kind of get bottom loaded here. Okay, let's continue testing and see. I've got a good feeling about that though. So like, that's awesome. I think it's working. Nice, man. I think that's it. I think that's it. I haven't seen it happen in maybe 50 deaths. I mean, not quite 50, but... I haven't seen it. We still need to change the respawn to stop? I thought we did that. I don't know. Ooh, those are getting a little iffy on those collisions there. All right, yeah, they seem to get just bottom loaded. Maybe we'll increase the flapping just a bit. Time between flaps. We'll decrease the time between flaps a bit to get them to float up to this next range, because they're not getting up to the top range very often. So the top is fairly safe right now. Like player 2 hasn't been moving at all for a while. Okay, so we'll decrease the flapping time. Oh, there we go. Who was just killed? So maybe the Shadow Lord seems to be fine. I haven't seen a Bounder really get up to the top there. As a Bounder gets to the top and kills me. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good. Let's double check. Let's double check our spawning sound. So if we go to sounds, respawn. Yeah, we stop the sound. It's playing. And we play it again. And we do that. Oh, respawn 2. That's what we need to do. Respawn 2. Okay, that should fix that. So we shouldn't play the respawn sound more than one. And let's go to our ostrich. Now let's go to our time between flaps. What is it? Flaps? What is it? Oh, it's a vulture. Vulture. We go to our vulture class. And it's a time between jumps is what it is. Now, if it's to tier 1, okay, so what we need to do is for a Bounder, give it a little less longer times, and maybe one more kind of in the middle time here. That should overall raise its height. And then same with this, maybe maybe we do like one more 0.4 in there. We do a 0.3. Okay. So we should have fixed our sound bug when we're both respawning at the same time. And Bounders should jump a little more often than they have been. Damn it. I wasn't supposed to stop that sound. You know, it didn't... Okay. So we both died at the exact same time. Okay. So I think what needs to happen... you know, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's fine if they both have their own sounds. Because, like, they would... It was just kind of an issue when it made the same sound twice. But that's only if we died at the same exact time. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of chill on this screen a bit and see if the Bounders rise up a bit. So on Twitch here, I'm not sure how do I... I just made Austin a moderator. I don't know what that means, but I did it. Okay, yeah, generally, you know, they're kind of all over the place. Some on the bottom, some on the middle, some at the top. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's awesome. So we need to reset our lives. We need to reset the wave level. We need to reset. We need to use our legalSpawn function in every wave. And we need to default to platform spawn point 4 not being allowed if it's past wave 6, because the end of wave 6, I believe it retracts. And then we'll remove the debugging and our spawn zone points. Okay, so what we're gonna do is do those things I just said, which is first things first. Let's take off these spawn zone point renders. Now, I don't really want these anymore. Legal spawns I don't really want anymore. Collidable platforms is good to have. We'll just put it up here, and then we'll put all of this legal spawn zone stuff all in one block that we can toggle on in case we need to keep debugging for some reason. So we'll go here and comment this out. Cool. So that's commented out. We can tidy up our nasty ass legal spawns function. I'm just gonna say 0.1, 0.2, okay, 0.3, 0.4, and then player 2 spawn conflicts. So let's get a player 1 spawn conflicts right here, and we'll call it player 1 spawn conflicts, and then we can tidy up this. Why do we have that? Okay. Player 1, conflict spawn zone removal. Player 2, conflict spawn zone removal. Good. Okay, that's better. We've got the text out, we've got that out. We've got to implement our legal spawn here. So we can tidy this up. Yeah, we set the legal spawn table right here with this line, and then we remove values that share X with either player with this line. And actually, yeah, we do that at the end. So the first part of that is checking the conflicts, and then the second part is removing any value in that table. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. But this is our sort of template for every wave. So we've got that wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Now we need to keep an eye out for when we retract platform 2. Because when we retract platform 2, right there, we retract platform 2. So we need to take out the platform that is on our platform 2. Which isn't spawn zone point 2. But we can check in our legal spawns point player 2, platform 4, platform 3, platform 2 is 0.4. So if we remove 0.4 from our wave 6 and onward, we should be okay. So if we go here and we remove platform 4 and we just have these 3, let's go to wave 6 and see wave gets let's go to wave 6. So we'll go to wave 6 and we'll see. We shouldn't spawn at platform 2 because there is no platform 2 now, so we'll see. Really? As long as we don't spawn on a platform that isn't there. So far, so good. I think we're doing good. We're not spawning there. We're not spawning there. I don't think it's blind luck that we haven't spawned there. I think it's actually working. Okay. And it's only different because if we were to go to wave 7 instead of wave 6, platform 2 would still be there because platform 2 doesn't retract until wave 6. But if you play like a normal person will play, that shouldn't be an issue. So if we go to wave 6 here, that becomes our new template. And the template meaning we get the 3 legal spawns omitting that 4th. And that's the whole reason platform 2 was in the 4th spot. Because I think if you table.remove and don't give it an index, it'll remove the last of the table. So I think that's why platform 2 was platform 4. You know, the spawn zone point at platform 2 was on spawn 4. Like, that's why. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but... But when you think about it in that context, it does, so... Okay, so there's a certain... I think once we do an egg wave... Look, we do an egg wave... we become platform 2 not retracted. So at this point, we retract platform 1, which doesn't have a spawn zone point, but platform 2 would be at wave 11, so we would add it back in at this point. We have to keep an eye out for any time we add it back in. Platform 1 retracted, platform 5 retracts. What is platform 5? Oh no. 276. Play state. Oh, okay. If 2-player mode. Shit, man. If 2-player mode. Because if it's 1-player mode, we don't have a player 2 to evaluate. Oh shit. This might be a big problem. 2-player mode, we want to do that. I think it'll still crash. Oh, thank God. Okay. And then here. Okay, so it goes platform 1, platform 2, platform 3, platform 4. This is platform 5, which has no spawn point on it. So unless there is a platform 1, 2, 3, 4, unless there's a platform 4 retraction, which I don't think there is, we shouldn't need to remove that spawn point. So we'll go to whatever wave we were at. What was it? Wave 8? It wasn't wave 8. We got wave 9. Platform 2 retracted. Wave 10. Platform 2 is still retracted. Platform 11. Where actually? Look, platform 2 retracted gets false in the egg wave, so we add it back in at 11. And then it should still be here for wave 12. And platform 5 retracts, which doesn't have a spawn zone point. And we're good here. Oh, okay, no, that's right. Platform 2 gets retracted here, so we would need to remove 4 right here so that we can't spawn there. And then wave 15 should be the same. And then 16 should be the same because platform 5 doesn't have a kind of Y. Is it control Y? No, leader Y. Leader Y to yank it. And then if I delete something, leader paste. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, yank. Okay. Retracted. Dude, what is going on? Every time I delete a space, I remove my buffer. Or not buffer, but register. Paste register. 18, platform 1, okay. Platform 2 is retracted here. Well, where did it become unretracted? Was there an egg wave I missed? Oh, it's not an egg wave, I don't think. Oh, egg wave right here. Platform 2 becomes not retracted, so right here, yeah, we need platform 2 back. And 17, we need platform 2 back. And spawn zone point 4 at platform 2 to be clear. And then platform 2 is still there. And then platform 2 gets retracted, so right here is where we would remove it. And we remove it like that. And then 20 is an egg wave, which we don't have to do it there because we're not spawning, because you can't die in an egg wave. Actually, you can. You can hit the lava if it's past wave 6 or whatever. So we do have to do it, and we do have to put it back at the egg wave. I don't think we've been doing that. Let's see at the last egg wave. Egg wave. So we've got an egg wave timer here. We don't put it back. We should put it back. Because if we die in the lava, we technically want to be able to spawn up there. And actually, I think in the original, if you die, the egg wave is over, but I haven't really gone that far. We can add that to our notes and see. Okay, I did do it right on the very first egg wave. 20 and moving on. 21, let's say. Yep, we're good there. Platform 5 respawn. Platform 5, yep, we're good. Platform 2 is retracted here, so let's get rid of spawn zone 0.4. And then platform 2 is retracted, so we'll make sure we take our platform 2 out. Okay. We don't become retracted false on platform 2, so wave 25 should have no wave 2, or platform 2 spawn zone point. So that should be it. And then what? We gotta test it? We gotta test it, or let's add some notes real quick. I think we might want to do what was it? Death in egg wave. Advances wave. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. I think that's how the original is. I put the question mark there so I can test it for the next time. We can do a player 1 test here. So I basically just want to kind of survive as long as I can to make sure that the waves are functioning like they should and that nothing crashes. So the double sound is awesome. It's might be a little strong, but it's really great. Oh, dude, I have never seen that. Our egg hatching not working. I never seen that where I pick it up like the very frame it would have hatched. I don't think I heard a sound there. And check out the lava troll, guys. Oh no! Oh shit. Well, we got 47 lives, so. Nice, lava troll is there. Oh my god, it's brutal to get out of that freaking lava troll. It seems to be working. We need to reset our lives. There is a sporadic random pixel error. Oh god. See, so look, if we die on this egg wave in the lava here, we die, respawn, and we're able to get more eggs. I don't know if that's in the original, so we'll have to check it out. But now that that platform 2 is retracted, we shouldn't be able to spawn there. So if we die, we shouldn't be able to spawn there. It's looking like that works. Okay, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty damn solid. I haven't seen any glaring mistakes just yet. cool, man. This is cool. No, no, no. See, every once in a while, I'll get like that weird pixel on my player's butt. It could be because we're streaming a motion graphic in the terminal behind us, and we're playing a game we wrote, and we're streaming in OBS, and we're recording on OBS. Because I feel like it gets messed up like that the more strain the computer is under. But I don't know how to test that. Alright, we're in wave 9. This is going pretty well. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm like, I don't know what to test, what to keep testing in wave 9, you know, it seems to be working. There's that pixel, there's that pixel. Oh no, okay, egg wave 10, we need to become unretracted, which we are not doing. So wave 10, our platforms need to become unretracted. I mean, they're there? Okay. Wow. Okay, so wave 10, a whole bunch of stuff starts fucking up. I guess let's take a look at what we're doing differently in wave 5 than wave 10. So if we take a look at our play state, yeah, we need to become unretracted in our wave 10, right? So like wave 10, wave 10. Yeah, we're not, oh no, we were doing it here. Not tables populated, not retracted anymore. And then our collidable platforms get this. So if we go to, we're doing it? Well, tables are populated, so when do we do a tables populated gets false, I guess. Wave 5. I guess when do tables populated gets false? In the previous... I guess in wave advance we go tables populated gets false. Wave advance. Wave advance tables populated gets false, yeah. Okay. And then so what are we doing differently in wave 5? Yeah, we got to unrender them, or re-render them. We've got the collidable platforms working. But for some reason, wave 10, we get the stuff. Platform retracted is no longer, is no longer, is no longer, is no longer. I think we need to do this after we instantiate. Or no. I don't think that would matter. Well, let's see. wave 10. Oh, let's go to wave 9 and then load into wave 10. So wave 9. So what I'm looking for is that platform 5 and the platform 2 to both appear for the egg wave. Okay, here we go. 2 is back, 5 is not back. So we need to make sure 5 is back and 1 and 1L is back on our wave 10. Is 5 not back? We set it to be back. It is no longer retracted. So what is the retracted, I guess, in our platform class? We go to our platform class, what does our retracted actually look like? Oh, retracting and retracted. We don't do anything with that. But if we're retracting, then we retract our graphics. Okay, so we're gonna draw the left half of our platform, then the right half of our platform. The only thing I could think of is that we need to reinstantiate the platform completely, or set retracting. See, and then we would need this. I think we need to reinstantiate all the platforms. Instead of just setting them to be retracted false, that's not good enough. We need to just reinstantiate them, and that'll fix our problems. So instead of doing all of this, we can do a code. We can do a code. Okay. Let's take a look at when we instantiate our platforms. So we use the open parentheses for that. But it is a platform with a capital P. So we do a platform instantiation. Those are our main platforms. Here we go. There's all these three. So let's go ahead and move all this stuff to below all of the other platforms. And then we can go ahead and take all of these instantiations. We can actually just take them right here. We can go to each wave. That is an egg wave. And at this point, none of them are retracted because none of them retract until wave 2. So our first time we need to restart them is here in wave 10. So what we need to do is we need to do 1 and 1L, just like this. We need to do 1 and 1L. We need to do 2. And then we need to do 5. Okay, now that should be all of our reinstantiations. Now that should fix this problem, because just because it's not retracted doesn't mean it would render, because if it is retracting, it modifies these values to shrink it, and then those values never get changed again. So it's technically not retracted, which when they were gone, we were still able to walk on them because they weren't retracted. But we need to reinstantiate them so we can actually see them. So we've got the next egg wave, so we can say egg wave 15, and we need to do the same thing here. So we need a 1 and 1L, So we'll take 1 and 1L, and we need platform 2, and we need platform 5, and that should be it. So we should be able to get rid of those. We should be able to snag these, and we can line this up all pretty like. Now we can search for the next egg wave, which should be egg 20. Yeah, 20, and then we'll do it right here. Yeah, what we'll do is right here, we need a 1 and 1L, a 2, one and 1L, yank it, not delete it, 2, and then a platform 5, and then that should be it for this wave. And I think this is the last one. Okay, because that's wave 20. I don't think there's another egg wave. Well, it ends on an egg wave. I don't know if I like that. Should it end on an egg wave? We can add that to a list, but let us go ahead and do the last one then. So we need a 1 and 1L. We can go ahead and delete them because we don't need them anymore. 2 and a 5. So we'll go 2 and 5. And we'll align these guys. Okay, so we're in wave 9. Let's see what happens when we go to wave 10. We should get all of our platforms back. So I'm looking at platform 2 in the top middle and platform 5 in the middle by the time I kill and advance the wave here. Okay, here we go. As soon as I get this egg, we don't have platform 5 back. Now let's see, is platform 5 existing? Yeah. So why does it not render? Platform 5 in wave 10. We have a platform 5 on our collidable platforms, and we have a platform 5 being reinstantiated. So what is going on? Why is it invisible? I'm not sure why platform 5 would be invisible. Let's take a look at our platform class. And when we instantiate, we do a couple of things. We name width and height, retracting false, retracted false, and then all of that good stuff. Okay. I don't know. Let's check out wave 15 and see if it does the same thing. But it's hard because it doesn't. You know what? Let's take it from wave. Take it from wave 6. Let's take it from wave 6 because that's when platform 2 retracts, and we'll see if platform 2 comes back or not. Which I got a feeling it won't either. We just have to be. I guess I could add a button that's like kill all vultures so that I could advance the waves and test things better, faster. Don't you do it. God, don't do it. No, stop doing it. They're bouncing me up so high I can't even get the eggs. Okay, that shouldn't have been a mid-air bonus. That's for damn sure. Oh god dang, man. Now they're all after me. Okay. So yeah, we'll see if at wave 7... Yeah, I almost want to just add a button, a nuke button that just kills all vultures on screen, so that I can advance the waves. Let's do that. That can't be that hard, right? It would just mean vulture dot exploded on all the vultures in our object table or enemy table. In our enemy objects, and enemy objects go through all of our. So let's call it. I mean, we just check for a placement, right? So like when we do our reset spawn, all we're doing is just checking. Let's see, when we press reset, we're just doing this, and this is in what? In our wave 25. No, outside of that. Okay. So yeah, okay. Let's try this. So we're gonna say if love.keyboard dot was pressed, and N for nuke, because I'm gonna nuke all the vultures. Then we're gonna cycle through, and we're gonna spell this right. Not that, not that, not that. Okay. Love, dude, love. Okay. We can say we want to cycle through for key value in pairs enemy objects. So however many enemy objects we have, we're going to go through and delete the vulture for pairs enemy objects do. We're going to say vultures at the index of our key. They get dot exploded to be equal to true. Okay, so I'll cycle through all the vultures, make them all exploded just by pressing N. Hopefully. We'll see. So wave 6, I'll wait till they all pop out and then I'll try to nuke them. Alright, let's go. We need to collect all the eggs too, but... Okay, ready, and... Pairs, table expected, got a number. Table expected, okay. Enemy objects is... Okay, so we just do a for loop. That's just a number. For I gets 1, comma, enemy objects. Do vultures at I exploded. Do that. Okay, let's wait till they're all here so we can nuke them. Okay. And ready, and nuke. I didn't like that. 1151. Didn't like that. 1151. Yeah, I didn't like that. Vultures. Try to index the nil value that says tale as old as time. Let me make sure I'm doing the for loop right? Yeah. Vulture I. So why is it not like that? Or I do? Oh, we didn't do. We ain't do. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I gets 1, enemy objects. Vultures at I. That exploded. Gets true. What if instead of exploded, we go graveyard? Find out. I just want to nuke them with one button press. Look at that, I just nuked them. Get nuked. Okay. So that doesn't trigger the next wave. So I mean, why don't we just wave advance when we press N? Duh, right? So wave advance. Wave advance. If the eggs have to be collected in order to wave advance. So what we'll do is make sure the eggs dot collected, and then we should be good. So we should be good there. If we just add eggs collected here. Oh god. Nope. Nope. Nuke. No. No. Nuke. Okay. Eggs at the ice index get collected. Therefore, we should advance. Okay, let's spawn. I just want N to advance the wave so we can get to wave 10 with 2 platforms retracted so we can test out that bug. So they're all here. Nuke them. Wave 7. Nice. Cool, man. That's a cheat code right there. We can pause. Okay. Y'all here? Bye. Boop. Wave 9. And we want to go to wave 10. Now let's see what happens. Let's see if the platforms come back. I'm hoping they do, but I'm thinking they don't. They don't. So what's going on? Why are they not coming back? The only thing I was thinking of is the wave retracting, or the platform retracting. But they're really not coming back. Now if I jump, I think I'll fall right through. Yeah. And I know why that's there. I don't get why they're not rendering though. I get it before we reinstantiated them, but once we reinstantiated them, I don't get why they're not there. So it's like, what we're doing is if table's not populated, meaning wave just advanced, then we go ahead and reinstantiate all these platforms. And they are collidable. So, oh, you know what? Maybe we just need to do collidable platforms after. Let's try that. I don't think it'll really do anything. Wave 7, wave 8, wave 9, and wave 10. Hey! We just had to, we had to reinstantiate them before we added them to the list of collidable platforms because we weren't updating them. So that makes sense. But now that that's set, we can go make sure we do the same thing at wave 15. And we got a nuke button that we could just nuke through the waves, which is cool. Probably should have had that a long time ago, but yeah. We do this, and then we assign collidable platform. So I had it right on wave 15. Let's see if I had it right on 20. I did. And we'll just go through and check these waves too and make sure it is still going. Wave 25. And yep, we had them right. So let's go ahead and nuke our way through and make sure. Nice, wave 10. Now, nuking doesn't nuke through the egg wave time because the egg timer is what decides whether or not we advance. So we just have to wait it out until it's the next wave. Like this. Then we should be able to nuke our way through again. 15, egg wave timer, and they come back, so that's good. So we still need to add where if we die, on wave, because at this point in wave 15, the ground platform would actually be retracted. It is not, because it only retracts in wave 3 or whatever. So if you play normally, see, look, if I'm standing on it, just there's no platform actually there. Just the way I programmed it is we don't apply gravity if we were standing. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, so the reason we stand there is because we don't apply gravity if we were check grounded true. And before the platform disappeared, we were check grounded true, and we don't check beneath us. Actually, we do check beneath us. It's just that we check beneath us. If we move? No, I don't remember. I'm actually not so entirely sure why we stand there now. Here, let's nuke them. 25, they should all come back, and they do. Cool. And we need to change our timer at wave 25 so it doesn't cut us off. Because if anyone downloads this on Git and actually plays it, as soon as they get right here, egg wave timer is only 3. So it's only, what did we set our egg wave timer to naturally? Egg wave transition timer. Okay. Yeah, egg wave transition timer. What do we set that to? 18. So we'll set it to 18 here. We had it for while we tested the high score state, but now that we've got it, I'm actually not entirely sure why we have that much stuff going on. If egg wave transition timer is greater than 18, why are we setting a wave timer? Why are we setting an egg wave text timer? We should set that here, right? Oh god, okay. Yeah, we don't need to do like any of this. We probably should mark them as collected. We're changing the state machine, so it shouldn't matter any of this stuff. Shouldn't matter any of this stuff. Yeah, let's just see. Let's see. I think we can get rid of all that. I think we can, because we don't need to do any of that crap, because we just changed to our high score state. So let's go to wave. Let's go to wave 24. And we'll nuke our way to 25. Wave 24, we'll nuke our way to 25. Now, as soon as the egg wave timer runs out, which is in 18 seconds, we should go straight to high score state and we shouldn't have any issues. Nice. Cool. Cool. We just got a high score. Okay. I want to erase these high scores. Oh, what the? Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Pressing enter got us to level 24 because we're overriding that, but we can change that right here. We need to change our lives too. Give our lives back to, was it 6? We'll check in our git diff what our lives was. Probably 5. I think I just added a 0. Okay. So I think I harpooned our high score. Oh, here. Our high score is text. We'll just delete that so we have a fresh high score. And then Do we call it good? We got wave 1. We got 2 players, both level 5 or 5 lives. We fixed a couple bugs, which is pretty good. I do want to see about potentially fixing that butt pixel, but I don't know how to even go about that. Butt pixel for player 1. Okay. So add player 2 to legalSpawn function. That's what we did. Prevent players from spawning at the same point. That's what we did. Cool. So we'll take these, we'll move them into our completed, and then we'll go ahead and check our get diff. So let's see get diff. Actually, let's do get status first. We modified 5 different files here. If we take a look at the get diff, our notes, we added a new temporary safety atlas to our ostrich field, because that's what was getting overwritten, was a global atlas, and it wasn't a self atlas. So now that we've got those modified to self, that fixed it. We added this spawn zone point identity so that we can print up what spawn zone we were at, which we turned off, but we still have that ability to toggle it back on. What we did was we modified the jumping values of our bounders and our hunters to get a little more vertical. And then we just tidied up a couple of different things in our play state. We added player 2 spawn conflicts and spawn removals in our legalSpawns function. And then for every wave we modified the correct legalSpawn table default and run our legalSpawn in every function. We could probably take that out and run it globally. I don't know if I want to do that. And then instead of just becoming unretracted, we reinstantiate every platform so that we can actually render them. And then more legalSpawns, more platforms, more legalSpawns, more platforms. We added a nuke button, which is cool. And then there's that fix. There's that fix to our players spawning at the same place. And then we fixed the sound overwrite to, yeah. Overall successful day. It was off to a bumpy start, I have to say, but we got the thing we wanted to get done. So that's all that matters. Git add everything to the staging area with a commit message saying we added player 2 to legalSpawn function, and we also added player 2 to legalSpawn function, and then we also I just realized the stream is spelled wrong. It's spelled joust, not joust. Hold on a sec. Okay. I'm still figuring out Twitch, so Added player 2 to legal spawn function. We also fixed spawn viewport for conflicting spawns. Added nuke button for waves. And that's about as good as the git commit is gonna get. Okay. So, tomorrow I'm thinking it'll be what'll it be? Tomorrow it'll be appropriate high scores for wave achievements. So yeah, we'll probably do that. And then maybe this death in egg wave advance. And then we need to do a little bit of testing for player 2, like when player 2 loses all their lives and player 1 doesn't. And pterodactyl death upon player 1 death. We might need to do that too. But that's what's on the list tomorrow. But thanks for watching today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next stream.